Hi, I'm Dave, and today I want to talk to you about stimming. What it is, what it isn't, and what we can do about it. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Dave Jerub, owner of Move About Therapy Services. We've got a clinic that's been around for 14 years in Sydney and 5 years on the Central Coast. I'm sitting here in Terrigal on the Central Coast of New South Wales, Australia, and I think it's the perfect place to chat about stimming. So often parents talk to me about wanting to work on stimming with their kids. It's something that's really common in kids with autism, and they say they want to be able to control it or change it or do something about it. First, I think it's really important to talk about what is stimming. So stimming is short for self-stimulation. So they're stimulating themselves in some way. It could be through flapping, it could be through rocking, it could be through lining up things. So I think it's important to know what it is, and then it's also important to think about why the child is doing it. Not just what they're doing and whether we want to control it or stop it, but why they're doing it. And even before that, I often like to ask parents, with respect and love, is it a problem for the child, or who is it a problem for? It's still important if it's a problem for the parent but not for the child, but it's going to impact whether the child's going to buy into our strategies and whether it's something that we're really going to see an effect from what we do. So if I have a relationship with the parent and they can say, well, it's a problem for me, but it's not a problem for my child, then we move on to the why and we see whether it is something that we're going to hit directly right now, probably not, or whether it's something that we'll find ways of dealing with the why first, so then we can be able to improve it through improving the reason that it's actually happening. So why might a child stim? The first one that a lot of OTs will pick up on is regulation. So they're stimming either because they're stressed out, maybe they're anxious or worried, or maybe super excited. It might be a strategy that they use to wake their bodies up or calm their bodies down. So if we think that it's for regulation, then we might be able to support them with regulation rather than focusing in on the stim they're doing. So if we think they're too low, we might do things to wake their body up. If we think they're too high, we might support them to be calmer. If we do those things and it's still there, then it's probably not about regulation, but that's the first thing that it could be. The second thing that I think it could be is not actually a type of stimming. I'm going to call it motor overflow. It's not to self-stimulate, but it's their emotions are pouring out of them through their hands. So it's not something that is just in people with autism. We see maybe a little boy or girl on Christmas morning do this when they're excited about that, about the toy that they've got. We see people at the footy or at the races when their team scores or the horse wins, they throw their hands up. That's a time that we've decided is socially acceptable to let our emotions pour out right through our fingertips in this motor overflow, that if we did it at the grocery store, it would look like stimming. So what we're seeing is that for some kids, particularly kids with challenges in regulation and with that motor control, that action regulation, that's pouring out of them to less stimulus or less intensity of stimulus than it might for you or me. And so with those, what we might also do is consider modeling different ways of doing it. So we can change this into this, and we can give it a sound, yes, that's cool, that's exciting. But I think it's important to know that that's who they are. It's nothing right, it's nothing wrong. And so if their world is supportive of that, as they become more grounded in their body, as we give them a core and we give them a better sense of where they are in the world, and we support their regulation, then we might see that is likely to fade away as well. The third one I want to talk about is play skills. So sometimes kids have simple, repetitive plays. They get interest out of this because it gives them some sort of visual kick that's really interesting. They line things up because it makes sense. Maybe it's for needing order, maybe it's for something else, but sometimes it's just that's the extent of their motor planning and their play skills. So sometimes if we can join them in that play, accept where they are, show some empathy and some curiosity, and try and understand, what do you see about that? You're looking at those wheels on the side. It's cool how they turn around. You're really interested in that. Will they allow us in so that then we can start to join them in that play, expand that play, and add ideas to it. So next time we're talking about a child that's stimming, let's think about why are they doing it. Firstly, let's think about who's it a problem for. So if it's a problem for us but not for them, that's going to be really hard to change if you just go in. If it is a problem for them and they're conscious of it, it's interfering with their social roles, then maybe we want to work with them to find ways to do that cheer in their pocket so that they're feeling comfortable with that, or to feel more grounded, give them sensory diet and feel supported ahead of time so they're not reaching that state of regulation where it happens, if that's important to them. If it's important to us, it's probably not going to be something that we can change by hitting it directly, but we can look at the why. Is it about regulation? Are they stressed out or are they super excited? Are they trying to wake their body up? Are they trying to calm their body down? We can look at, is it actually motor overflow? And that's a similar kind of thing where we want to give them a grounded middle and we want to help them be regulated, and maybe we can model other ways of directing that energy flow. And then the third is it play? So have they got poor planning skills, poor play skills? So as we join their play and help them develop their play, we'll see that they need to do that a lot less as well. So that's it for today. Make sure if you've got any thoughts about what I talked about today, or if you've got any questions, put them in the comments box. Also let us know if you have any other ideas for beach topics you'd like me to do. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can get this content as soon as we release it. See you next time.